And we are live. Welcome, YouTube. This is Julian Black, first live stream in an extremely long time. As you can tell with the title of the thing, this Vivek Ramaswamy situation when he went on the Breakfast Club has been going around pretty crazy like. It's been going around all nimbly bimbly. Because the Breakfast Club, it was a pretty hostile interview. Like we everybody knows that if it was a different motherfucker on their Breakfast Club, probably would have been a little more hospitable, would have been a little nicer. My fellow veteran, that young lady, I don't know who she was. She cute as hell, but she's a veteran, and she was on there hosting the not really hosting, but conducting the interview and doing a test with Vivek, and it came across as very opinionative and aggressive, but I don't think he presented any ideology that she liked. One of the reasons I chose to go with Night Talk, like this brother on Night Talk, I like this dude. I don't always agree with some of the stuff he says, but for the most part, he's like 99% fucking what's the word I'm looking for? He's 99% based on most of his opinions. I've only seen him say a handful of things that your boy would have been like, yeah, dog, I can't agree with that. It's just not me. Hold on, let me pull up. I don't even know if anyone's in here. I wasn't looking. I apologize if you're in there commenting. I haven't like an amateur streamer. I didn't pull up my comments. And I have a quite what's the word I'm looking for? Quite a complicated streaming setup. We have multiple monitors, soundboards, and a lot of other items splizzashed all over the place. Quite a complicated streaming setup, and that's why we also had that audio layover. So it doesn't look like we have anyone here. This live stream is actually put up to what we got going on here. Oh, we can start a question and answer poll. I didn't even pull this shit up before, baby. So anyway, what we gonna do is I'm gonna come back to the comments in a second, see if somebody came through. I don't know why I sound like Bill Clinton right now, but it just seems like an appropriate voice to have for this circumstance. But we're gonna go back and we're gonna pull up the stream itself. And if you don't know about him, make sure you go check this brother out. Night Talk. He's a pretty based guy. I actually do agree with a chunk of what he says. Okay, here we go. He's got a fire ass intro. One of these days, I got to get my ass a banging ass intro to roll up in. You know what I mean? Got to get that banging ass intro. I want to use. I got some cousins in my and some family that make some pretty fire music.
A lot more.
Let me shut up and let y'all listen a little bit.
Vivek Rama Swamy, bro. I brought him up on the channel a couple weeks back because he caught my eye. He's running for president, man. And he pulled up on Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy and some other girl. And pretty much it was like a damn ambush. I just want to key on just the disrespect that was displayed during the conversation. There was nothing professional about it, dog. This made the Breakfast Club look weak. It made those involved look weak, and it made Vivek look dope.
See, the one thing I'm going to agree with him about, I've actually seen a good chunk of this interview. He showed some portions here that I hadn't seen yet. And what made me decide to do this live stream real quick was that he pointed out a little extra context to Vivek's conversation with the Breakfast Club and some of his ideology. A lot of people can't agree with, but it's not completely ludicrous or based. But I think what happened with these folks, they got a little more emotional on the bro. And he maintained his composure. He was professional. He was stoic. He was based. He was respectful.
You know, where you align and who you gonna vote for. If you even care about politics, it's beyond that. They tried to make Vivek Ramaswamy look bad. They made themselves look terrible, bro. So the interview is like 40 minutes long. I'm not gonna go through all that, man. It was just some points I wanted to highlight here that really got my attention. That you know, I gained a lot more respect for Vivek Ramaswamy and how he handled the nonsense they put him through. So let's check it out.
Explain to me your position on this civic duty voting.
Sure. So my position is, I think that every kid who graduates from high school should know the minimums about the country that we require an immigrant to know about the country in order to become a citizen. So there's a test. My mom had to pass it. Every immigrant has to pass it to this country.
Easy through.
That asks you some basic questions. What are the 3 branches of government? What branch of government does the U.S. president lead? Some basic questions about what is the Bill of Rights. I think that if we're going to ask immigrants to pass that test, as we should, I think every 18-year-old who graduates from high school should have to pass that as well, because young people, it goes back to that issue of pride. You don't value a country that you don't know something about. You don't value something you inherit. You value something you have a stake in creating, in building, or knowing something about. So how do we think big about this? Well, young people, as I told you, most of them, very few of them vote as it stands today. Super small numbers. And apparently 60% of them say they would rather give up their right to vote than give up TikTok. Well, I say, all right, let's take that to the next level.
That's crazy.
How about we do something that raises the voting age from 18 to 25, but you still get to vote at 18 if you just pass that same civics test that an immigrant has to pass in order.
And I also think that if you pass that civics test, we'll do it a spot further. You should get all the rights that everyone get as of 21. If you got the right to vote, you should have the right to do everything it is as a citizen. That's one of my big pet peeves too, is I always thought that America treated their 18-year-olds as second-class citizens until they needed them to punch a ballot. You know what I'm saying? You can go die for your country, you can do whatever you want, but you can't goddamn buy a beer or have a smoke, or you can operate millions of dollars of equipment and kill people all over the planet, but you can't have a beer
to vote. And tests aren't for everybody, so be it. Then you at least serve in the military or a first responder role for 6 months.
I actually agree
That's
with
my
that.
civic duty voting proposal.
Nick, our camera guy, do you know the 3 branches of the
Nick
federal
is
government?
over 24, so it don't matter.
But I'm just saying, but nobody knows they're 24.
Yeah,
Right?
they
You
know
the 3
it, bro. Envy, you're just an idiot.
Well, I got
Just because
A lot
your
of
ass
people.
don't know it, don't mean nothing. You're thinking about self-interest and the fact that you are ignorant of common knowledge amongst, I don't even know if it's a majority now, bro, because right now Americans are dumb. They're not aware. They don't know what the hell's going on in the world outside their little TikTok or Instagram bubble. That's a really ignorant
he's
thing
not.
to say.
He's not lying.
Just because you don't know it means nothing.
He's definitely
Judicial,
not lying.
executive,
And
legislative.
branch.
And then the
I
crazy
had to
thing
learn
about
that
it
even
too
for
is
my
that
job.
it's an American thing, bro. You go outside of the states and ask other countries about what's going on in America.
Yo, other countries are well more versed in our politics and our politicians and our history than the average American, which is crazy. They know like world history. Like you can walk over to Europe. That's why some people think our kids are stupid. It's not that our kids are stupid. They just been pushed into a realm of where they just don't focus on things. Yo, he got 96 dislikes on this hoe. Hold up, let me open it up. I'm gonna open up big boy style so it covers the whole screen, and we'll keep watching. I'm probably gonna skip through some of his commentary so I don't get no strikes, because some of the stuff he might talk about I might already jump on it. But let's go. Let's
They
continue.
ain't talking about that, bro. There's so much other. I'm going on a tangent, bro, but like I just thought that was an ignorant statement to make. And you got a big ass platform like that, you're just making people that much dumber by relating to what you're saying, because I'd imagine a lot of the listeners probably align with what DJ MB said, because they don't fucking know it. Since I don't fucking know it, then it's a problem.
Are you willing to take a test with me quickly? Because I just have a couple of questions for you.
I've seen this
will.
test.
Absolutely.
So just-
and the way this is opening up, I have a feeling I'm about to fail it, but that's good. Let's do it.
That's right. Yeah. So you mentioned
Vivek need to let the hairline go.
pride of being an American and how important it is to have pride in this country. I'm also a veteran, by the way,
Thank you.
for the United
He's
States Air
mentioned
Force.
multiple times
So
throughout the
when
talk.
is it that you voted for the first time?
I voted in 2020.
Okay. So you're how old again?
I'm 37 years old.
So for how many years you sat around and did not get involved at all in any civic engagement? Is that my understanding?
A long time is the answer. And actually, that's what I wrote this book about. I'm not holding myself out as some sort of model. I'm actually offering myself as
Hey,
a
what's up, Chaos?
self-reflection of my journey as a citizen, to whom this country
Yeah,
has given
welcome,
much, right?
Chris.
As an
What's
adult, when
up,
you
big
have kids,
dog?
it changes your perspectives. I'm very honest
Welcome,
about
welcome.
that. Absolutely.
Okay, no problem. So let's go deeper into the
Hopefully, I didn't
self-reflection.
miss you too long. I was looking.
So you've sat around
I've been
for,
bouncing in and out of the
and sir, I'm
comments.
being as respectful as I possibly
See,
can.
here's
Please
the
don't
deal.
take anything
And you don't
hard.
even
Here's the
have
deal.
to.
We're gonna rewind
No
it.
problem. So let's go deeper into the self-reflection.
So
So
you
you sat
sat
around
around.
for, and sir, I'm being as respectful.
See, the fact that she's doing it, she does not like this guy at all, period. You could tell with her demeanor. You could tell with the way she's addressing things. And you just sat around. That's not a non-aggressive way of saying it. It's like, well, the non-aggressive way, the impartial way, be like, well, what were the particular reasons you waited so long to participate in the voting thing? You know, she could have addressed it in a non-aggressive way. You just sat around and did nothing. So it's like the guy never did anything. So it already with her approach of it. Oh, Big Darkness, what's up, dog? Already with her approach for it, it's our yo Darkness, man. Remember we in the beginning days of the pod, man. The pod's grown, man. I haven't been participating as much on the pods, but we about to start a Sunday thing with me and my bro and my boy Chase. Me and my bro's definitely gonna be doing it every Sunday. I don't know if we always gonna be able to get Chase, but Chase will do it. He'll do it. He's down for the population. But let me finish. Let me let this young lady finish her thoughts. But I already knew she was biased just from the way she started this.
As I possibly can. Please don't take anything
and you don't even have to be. And you don't even have to be.
Her saying you sat around is being disrespectful because he definitely did not sit around.
See, I didn't even hear his part.
For president. You can't just sit around and be in that position. She's being condescending and disrespectful, and she knows she's being disrespectful because she just said, "Please don't take anything to heart," because you're intending on being disrespectful.
So you've been sitting around in the country that my ancestors built for about 20
Another little
years.
dig.
Your parents came over as immigrants, brought you over. You made millions according to your resume off of this country. You have absolutely not been involved in civics. One, not voting. And two, let me just ask, because I know you mentioned earlier, you don't want to sit around at the debate and talk about accomplishments. Let's make the accomplishments pretty simple. In high school, were you ever a class president or take any leadership role? Because your opponent.
Okay, yeah, yo, I holler at you in a few minutes. You got me on the other spots, man. I want to start doing one open mics, but hey, let me stay focused on this for a few. We're gonna finish this video. Actually, it shouldn't be too much more going. We'll finish this one out.
Christie, he was the class president. So have you ever taken any leadership at all on anything, or just?
Can I just correct a couple factual things
Sure.
that are kind of important? My parents didn't bring me over to the country. I was born in this country, and I'm proud of that.
No, I know you were born here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio.
You mentioned
someone gave her a heads up.
My apologies.
And that's all right. You said your parents brought you over to this country.
My apologies. I mean, they were immigrants, but let's not go down the water hole.
No, we're not going to water.
Let's not go down the water hole, bitch. You said it. You hold you accountable. We're trying to correct you. Anybody let you just disrespect him, telling falsehoods? You know what I mean? Let's not talk about what I just said. That's incorrect. Let's focus attention on this bullshit I'm about to say.
Just her approach to her language was.
You were born here in Ohio.
I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's
right. So you've been here your entire life. So the question is, did you take any leadership role in middle school, high school, class president?
I did.
I know you played tennis. What is it? Explain it to us.
Student council. But I think that this is I have held leadership roles over my life, but those don't qualify me to do what I'm doing.
And how many times you go to run for president? They said, "Hello, I'm so happy that you came here to run. Have you ever did student council? Because if you hadn't been involved in leadership roles in high school, I mean, that weighs a lot on you as you developed as an adult. So all your accomplishments as an adult mean squat if you weren't in student council or had leadership roles as a child."
Now,
it kind of does. Okay, it kind of does. I'm giving the test. I'm the test administrator.
Right, there you go.
So it kind of does, because when you go from saying I want to go to the highest office,
and I'll tell you, I've led companies as well. Is the other leader? Right, the main leadership role I've played is and I want to talk about one early part of your premise that I also want to say, bring it to the country point. The other points, you use the word sitting around. I'm not somebody who's saying I want the next generation, my kids' generation, to have more civic duties when they graduate from high school and college than I did when I did. That being said, I wasn't sitting around. I've developed medicines, 5 of which are FDA-approved products today. One of which is a life-saving therapy in kids, 20 of whom die by the age of 3 if they're not treated. 70% of whom now live lives of a normal duration. Another one for prostate cancer. So I don't apologize for making contributions. But
right. Well, I don't want you to filibuster that because that's not the question that I asked. And I don't.
So here's the deal. She's like, I don't want you to filibuster that. So all of your accomplishment and all the things you're going to talk about that you probably did that helped the world, they don't matter because I want to get this point across and get my opinion across, and he's gonna fail the test. I knew he's gonna fail the test.
As a veteran, I'm talking about service. I'm not talking about what you did for profit. I'm not talking about what you.
And even as a veteran, veterans sign their lives on a dotted line. Honorable commitment to make. Veterans commitment doesn't go unrewarded. You get paid for it. You don't do it for free. You don't volunteer for it. So for her to completely just throw her, and I'm a veteran too. So let's get this off the front. I'm a veteran too. Was deployed, was in the Army, pushed away from my family and stuff, and sent away with on deployment, all this other stuff. Yeah, I was a reservist. Granted, she was active Air Force, but she's throwing that veteran thing around as if it's a huge, like as if it makes her more qualified to be a presidential candidate than him. And outside of the politicians, service members, lifelong service members also are president. Our first president that wasn't a politician, that also wasn't a veteran, was Donald Trump. He was the very first president. He was the first of his kind to make it into that office that wasn't even a lifelong politician and or a veteran or a long-term service member. Some of these guys that made it in were like generals and colonels and shit, and they worked their way around.
People to do with your company.
So I've not served the country
because that means nothing to me.
You do
what I'm talking,
because that means nothing to me, bro. It's just like that. That's so trash, bro. That's so trash, dog.
It's
on this man's accomplishments. He's serving in medicine,
and he saved people's lives. And that doesn't mean shit to me.
Children's lives, adult
if you
lives,
weren't in student council.
Better quality of life. But she's talking about more of the self-interest type of thing. I'm a veteran. I served, but you don't serve for free. Right?
I just said this. I never saw.
Last time I checked, there's a bunch of benefits that attract civilians to enlisting in the Army.
Facts.
You ain't doing it for free. You're getting paid, GI bills, all types of perks, this, that, and the third. You doing that because you want to serve your country, then do it for free then. Do it for free. You ain't no better.
Ain't nobody gonna do it for
an agenda, a bullshit ass agenda trying to call this man out, make him look bad when you're making yourself look sad because there's no merit, there's no credibility, there's no honesty in this conversation.
It's very like her approach on it is very disingenuous. Her approach on it was set up to make him fail. She won't listen. Any point he points, he's answered some questions more than once. She re-asks them again, or it's like, well, you didn't answer my question, and I was like, yeah. So I just saw it just didn't seem genuine. She could have had this conversation and still made her points if her points were valid. She could have made her points without being as disrespectful as she was in some circumstances.
Whatever you did in medicine,
he kept his shit together. It made him look good.
Medicine, and that means nothing to me. So all the lives that you saved, all the lives you made better, all that because you ain't serving the Army. I'm better, man. Get your tired ass
Air Force,
out of
my
here,
G.
So my question again is, you're trying to, your goal is to raise the standard, and you're saying you want people to believe in country, and you want people to have civic engagement. And sir, I just find it very telling that you haven't had any civic engagement at all and haven't been at all. And when I say sit around, I don't mean you haven't done anything. I'm talking about in regards to service, because one thing about political office, the same way that you want to change how people look at politics and look at this country, I want to change how people look at politicians. And when I see that someone hasn't did anything at all to be of service to mankind, to take a leadership role, it's not good enough to just be on city.
To be of service to mankind.
Saving people's lives with medicine is service to mankind, even if you make money on it.
And they ain't even tapped into the racism part. Like he's cool, man. He's cool. And I'm like, this is not no political anything. It just happened to be political because what he's doing. But I'm just here to address the elephant in the room that this was a bunch of bullshit.
You're right about that.
Were you a leader? All of that applies. Have you been able to get anybody in the room at any time, from a high school gymnasium to Ohio, Republican leadership there to now? Have you been able to get anybody in a room to believe?
See, the fact, the angle she's going, she wants to know straight up leadership skills. To generate companies that are worth billions of dollars, he had to rally. He had to be a good leader. He's done hella more with his life than she's done. And he still wasn't a douchebag and tried to downplay her service to the country. Because I always respect every veteran. You sign in a dotted line. He didn't try to downplay her service to the country. She downplayed all of his service. All of the shit he did, the money. Well, you made money on that. You made money on the shit you did in the military. You probably still reaping the benefits.
I don't agree with a lot of your vision statement, but I do know you've been going around having these discussions and getting everybody emotionally worked up to talk about vision and debate. But I want to get to the practical. You're trying to go from preschool to president of the United States. You're skipping over city council, county council, mayor, governor. You want to go straight to the top.
He got that skill, though.
So my question is this a PR? Is this for the PR, the perception of reality? Or can you point to any leadership where you've been able to get people to believe in what you're talking about that they're not paid to do on any of these vision statements that you have? If not, then to me it's a moot point, because you're holding a standard that you haven't met yourself.
Going to count government service. You're absolutely
no, not government
right.
service.
Okay.
Student council in the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th.
What does that have to do with anything?
Did you
That's
do anything
ridiculous.
to rally anybody? Did you fight for better lunch? I did in the 6th grade with Miss Harris. Yeah. I'm not talking about government. I can go all the way back from the 5th grade every year.
No, man.
Y'all see the type
that's crazy.
She on, bro.
5th grade student council, baby girl. That's not real world, baby girl. That's school. There's people I knew that was on a student council that sucked dick for crack.
Conversation where Charlemagne and him.
That don't mean nothing. I mean, I'm arguing semantics.
This was just stupid.
Hold on, let me pause. I'm talking over my boy. I'm arguing semantics. It doesn't mean, like, what I'm saying is that she's also arguing the same. She's saying if you ain't learning leadership as a child, you're just skipping everything. You need to do city council and representatives. You need to do every fucking thing under the sun in order to be in my eyes, and it is her opinion, rightfully so. If her opinion is that, and she's holding every single politician to that standard, I mean, I guess I could understand where she's coming from, but it just seems very disingenuous to discount a person's entire life experience, entire life accomplishments, because they weren't on student council or didn't do things in the 8th grade. she automatically thought he was just an immigrant. Well, not even just an immigrant. We're all immigrants technically, but she thought his parents bought him here. Didn't realize he was even born here, which derailed the conversation.
I do want to unite the country.
So why is like one of your marquee campaign proposals making sure Black people can no longer benefit from affirmative action?
See, here's the thing. It's actually been a disastrous experiment over the last 60 years. I've seen the impact that it's had. Unlike a lot of other executives, I've had senior executives in my company who happen to be Black, senior executives in my campaign who happen to be Black. I actually went to a majority or close to majority Black school 1st through 8th grade. There isn't a single one of those Black kids or Black colleagues that could not have achieved everything I have in my life. I firmly believe that to be true. And I have seen the unfair discrimination behind closed doors, the things that people will say behind closed doors about somebody who would have had that position anyway, but was unfairly tarred with the taint of saying they got it because of a race-based quota system. I think that's unjust to everyone across the board. And I think that the right way to do this is actually ensure equality of opportunity, educational access at an early age, which, by the way, we don't have in this country, starting at an actual young age. How about doing that in a way that's agnostic to race? That way we prevent seeing one another on the basis of a color of our skin, but we actually solve the real inequalities that we have when it starts with inequality of opportunity, starting with education. So my view is, I think my approach is actually going to be more successful in lifting up more Black Americans than have been the Lyndon Johnson approach of actually using race-based quota systems.
So the Supreme Court does rule on affirmative action, and they do ban it. Who do you feel it benefits versus who it hurts?
I think that it helps everyone if they end race-based affirmative action in college admissions. I think it will literally help everyone in different ways because it restores merit in the United States. Are we perfect in ensuring equality of opportunity? No, we're not. The fact that kids are trapped by the zip code in which they're born, determining where they go to school is a...
Mr. Ramaswamy, how do you say that? Ramaswamy hit a point, man. I talk about that all the time. Like, there's the schools that were shitty when I was growing up are still shitty today for the most part. And our communities are the only communities that allow that to happen. So, and you can't expect a quality of outcome, but you definitely can expect quality of opportunity. You can demand that. At least give these young kids the opportunity to have a better education, to be put in a better position, to set them up with a better system to get them into these schools. So I'm all about that. That's one of my reparations things. I was like, listen, all these communities that are shitty, that have been allowed to be fucked up and had corrupt politicians spending all their money and for decades and generations, and then black folks have been dropping their votes into the Democratic pool, and them cities are still shitty. That kind of rhymed a little bit. I got bars for days, my G. But I think those cities need to have the money pumped into them to give at least the opportunity for the young. We need to fix these babies when they're little, preschool, kindergarten, start fixing them shits then, and help, on up the chain. We got to get them young and start grooming them for intelligence and
universal school
success
choice in this country, which has actually done more to help Black Americans than has any affirmative action program.
What's your thoughts on people saying that you got Don Lemon fired?
I think that the New York Times reported that. I had an open debate with Don Lemon with this, what CNN wanted to.
Yo, I watched that whole Don Lemon interview. Well, trade schools. Yes, they need to definitely bring the trade schools back and basic life stuff. Like when I was in school, they still had home economics. But to stay on topic with this, with the video, I watched the Don Lemon interview. Don Lemon, he misstepped. He got emotional and started attacking Vivek about his skin color, about how he shouldn't have an opinion because he wasn't black. And I tried to tell my dad that that's not what they pay Don Lemon millions of dollars to do. If Don Lemon wanted to get at this guy, he should have got at him with facts or got at him with an opposing opinion. And I'll say, well, you ain't black, so you shouldn't have anything to say. And even the old girl here, she goes, you're coming into your parents brought you over here to reap the benefits of the country my ancestors built. Yeah, that shouldn't have even came up in the conversation, dog. It automatically comes across a little crazy. That's why I tell you.
You see where they're going, though, right? It's all this victim mind state bullshit, man. You getting rid of affirmative action, so you don't want to see black people succeed. Like, saying that is so crazy because you're essentially saying that black folks need affirmative action.
Welcome, Goober. You are always welcome to listen.
Cripple.
I appreciate you stopping, and I appreciate all.
But that's a mind state that has been molded in black folks' minds.
All 5 of you wonderful individuals.
Always fall back on it. Must be due to my race that I can't.
All 5 of you individuals. I actually started following this brother Night Talk. I started following him a while ago. I don't watch his content a lot. I used to watch it hella more, but I got a lot of shit all over the place. So I got to kind of pick and choose when I can watch things. Welcome. So I don't get to watch him. I would like to watch him a little more. Only one thing he did. He jumped the gun on the Tate brothers. He jumped the gun. Didn't have good information, and automatically was like, oh, man, hey, this. And what a lot of people don't understand with the Tate brothers, I understand what human trafficking is. Human trafficking is fucking slavery. You're not free to go whenever you want. You come and go. They already proved those girls were coming and going. So it has to be something else they get them at. And they'll probably figure something out. Like right now, I think they're saying that they tricked those girls in there because of love to steal their TikTok money. And both these brothers were 100 millionaires at that time and had kids on the res. So it's a weird one. I'm gonna watch that play out. I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself, just like my brother here should have. He should have made a video, but he should have kind of rolled the wave a little bit. But then again, what he did was a lot safer because YouTube was ripping them shits down. If you were pro Tate, you were gone, baby. You were gone.
Achieve this, and then at the same time, black folks are being moved ahead over people more deserving of certain positions. Affirmative action is racist at the end of the day because you are discriminating others and focusing on one race, putting them ahead of everybody else, regardless of merit, right? But you're messing up you're really messing up everything doing that. You're messing up economy, messing up businesses, you're messing up everything.
Yeah.
You have people that are not worthy of certain positions, ill-equipped when other people are, but the only reason that they get in these positions because they're black. There's a whole
take it from me, man.
Reprogramming.
I fell at the ass end of some affirmative action shit. There were some jobs I tried to get, and what happened with the job was they were caught discriminating against black people, and they had done it for decades. And when they finally got caught doing it, they got sued. So, to circumvent the lawsuit, they just randomly hired a bunch of black people, and the people they grabbed were incompetent. They came in and were fucking shit up. I was on the ass end of that. After those other guys fucked it up, I was going to be one that wouldn't have fucked it up, but they didn't even hire my ass. They was like, "Oh, we got enough brownies. We don't need no more of those brownies. We got enough. It's good enough for the lawsuit." But yeah, let's see what I'm gonna watch the last bits and pieces of his. I don't always agree 100% what he says.
10 years ago, you asked me about affirmative action, bro. Yeah, we need it. No, the fuck we don't. Affirmative action inhibits black folks to be lazier because they can rely on that. I don't got to work as hard as I'm black. They're gonna push me ahead. You know what I mean? Meeting race quotas. That's whack.
This dude looked like he might even be related to Michael Jai White.
Whack is forced diversity.
I wouldn't be surprised if he one of my cousins.
Definition of diversity.
To be in good shape. I'm fat as hell.
Competitive, regardless of their fucking race, and the most competitive wins, and it naturally turns into diversity. Forced diversity is a bunch of bullshit, and it creates problems.
That is their choice. My view is, though, we need to start saying in public the things that people are otherwise saying in private. There's a gap right now in the country. Let's admit it. Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter.
Be careful with that, because a lot of people in your party are going to start saying nigga out loud.
What?
I don't think so, man. Actually, and I would certainly hope not. I would condemn it if they do. I would condemn it if anybody does. All right? But what I think is we need to close the gap between what people say in private and what they say in public. That allows us to air our differences, and then we actually find unity that way. That's actually what I think unites the country, not creating this culture of hush hush, right? Say one thing in public and a different thing in private. And I do reject Don Lemon's premise. What did he tell me on set? He said, you can disagree with me when you have black skin and you've lived in this country, whatever ethnicity you are.
But
victimhood and disrespectful.
Yeah.
Victimhood.
That's what got Don Lemon fired. He behaved like an idiot.
Because I'm black. I don't know. No matter what you've been through, you can't say anything to me because I'm black.
Yeah.
That makes me, that's not about me. That makes me feel small.
See, my thing is this too. Is like we need to have open conversations.
We're in all of this together. We can't do this shit alone. If you want to be alone with that mind state, you're going to continue struggling along with that mind state.
All right. That's my boy. Hold up. Let's cancel this whole to the move to the solo camera. Yeah, so my thought on the shit, Vivek Rama Swamy, I don't agree with 100% of what he said, but the shit about maybe making people pass that test before they can vote, I might get behind that a little bit, just a little bit. Not saying I 100% agree with it, but I also agree, I think that United States citizens should have the right to vote. Yeah, it's a weird one because it's not really. This dude is a current candidate for presidency. He's running on a Republican ticket as a Brown brother. You know what I'm saying? So in a lot of black folks, it leaves a sensitive spot because a lot of people reap the benefits of our struggle and then like try to write us off in the end. But he doesn't seem to be doing that. But yeah, with the Don Lemon thing, you can't, if your job is to have discourse with people, you can't jump on a platform with millions of people and tell a motherfucker, because you're not the right type of brown, you shouldn't have an opinion. That's not cool. And that's a fireable offense. I'm surprised it took him so long to push the button on old DL. Okay, I agree with that. All right, knock the fan over. I'm gonna read it out loud. I feel like before we worry about voting, and we should worry about educating people. A lot of people don't vote because they are delusional, or the neighborhoods that have been easy access don't have easy access to vote. Yeah, a lot of people. Well, there's a lot of delusional people that do vote too. So, but I think Goober, you got a point though. We do need to educate, but the problems we have with the voting, people worry about the big votes like the president, and don't worry about their local people and their senators and congressmen. And these people keep getting reelected, and they're not acting on your behalf. They're not acting in your favor. They're acting on whoever paid them the best amount of money to vote in the right way. And that's what some people want to remove voting from politics. I don't think it's going to be easier to remove a tooth from a bull with no anesthetic. You ain't going to be able to remove the money, not voting, money from politics. Fight the power. Fight the power. Hold up. Let me play a little bit of music in the background. Oh, hold up. I got to turn this music thing down. There we go. But yeah, I'm not really I wasn't really a big politic guy. What really got me into politics was listening to so many people talk about shit that were misinformed. Like, I started listening to people and they were telling me things, and then I was like, oh wow. And I would take like little mental notes, and then I would look up the shit they were telling me, and most of the shit was bullshit. Most of it wasn't right. I agree 130%, obviously. Well, money talks, bullshit walks. Money makes everything move. So right now, the money ain't going nowhere. And in the moment, every time we get a motherfucker in office that don't need money, they wind up dead or demonized. You think about it. So it's money's what makes the world go around. You can't even be a president without being able to have access to a certain amount of money. So, but I'm not gonna get into conspiracy theories because I'm not the biggest conspiracy theorist in the world. But then some of these conspiracy theories always come up to be true. I'm waiting for the aliens to come finally. I'm waiting for these lizard people to be walking through the streets. You know what I'm saying? Oh. I agree, Goober. It can be depressing. Oh, definitely. Yo, and that's one of the reasons, like, I'm the bastion of hope for all my friends that have political opinions. Because whether they're right-leaning or left-leaning, I don't take it personal. They can have a conversation with me, and we can end it and still be friends in the end. You keep yourself surrounded by some good friends. I know friends that, because of their political opinions, who are stand-up citizens. I have friends that lost their friends because they voted for Trump. There's people that wouldn't let their kids play together anymore because they found out they voted for Trump. Like he was the Satan. I can't believe. And these people I'm talking about are minorities. They're brown people that lost their friends. And some of the friends were Caucasians that said, "You're racist for voting for the white guy. I'm black and racist." So I have friends that lost their friends behind that. I'll never like, I got a plenty of friends that vote for people I'm not fond of. And just know, if you're my friend, I'll never write you off just because you got shitty opinions. I'll never do that. Hold up. I'm going to move you guys over to my main screen so I could see y'all a little better. There we go. Those comments are nice and juicy now. They blown the hell up, Sean. I heard the most deep. It doesn't matter if it's left or right wing. Thing still belongs on the same bird. You know what? That's crazy. That is true, because, you know, a lot of these people, although they act like they're different, they have the same allegiances. They have the same gold in the end. I'm sorry, my face looks a little greasy. I put some stuff on to heal up some eczema I had coming in. My brother is a legit racist Texas dude. Conversation with him. The only way to learn is even to disagree. We can learn how to talk with love. Yo, there's a conversation I heard. This is going to be funny. It was a dude talking about, it was a high-level government official talking about he had a conversation with Donald Trump. And he asked Donald Trump. Trump said the first thing he did when he was sitting and talking to Obama was ask him, what is going to be the most difficult thing I have to deal with in my presidency? And Obama told him, you will go to war with North Korea in your term. And Trump asked him, he said, well, have you ever talked to him? He said, Obama said, I'm not talking to him. He's a dictator. Which is weird. Obama's so smart. If anyone knows, you negotiate with your enemies. You don't negotiate with your friends. You got to find a common ground to avoid war. To just say you're not going to talk to a motherfucker because you don't agree with him, that's not how world politics works. That guarantees you conflict in the end. And Trump met with the guy and avoided us a war with North Korea. I don't know what they did, whether they just traded human trafficking advice, which is I'm being completely facetious. Trump is not a human trafficker. But anyway, I thank you folks for hanging out with me. How we got it? We got 4 still watching my ass blabber off. I might do some more of these live reaction videos on YouTube because I haven't in a while. And if you roll through here and you already haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Come on, hit that like button sometime. Let the analytics know that people want to see my furry faced ass. I could be, hold on. Yeah, but if anyone could have got away with it, if Trump got away with it, Obama could have too. If Trump got away, because Trump had hate from both parties. Obama's hate strictly came from the Republicans. The Democrats worshiped the ground he walked on. So if Trump got away with it, Obama could have got away with that with flying colors. And would have been a historical event, way more historical than it was with Obama. It was just a blurb in the news that Trump avoided war with Korea. It was just a blurb in the news. If Obama would have done it, he would have got an additional Nobel Peace Prize. Because Obama is a fucking political superstar. People just don't understand the level of stardom that man had when he ran. And I was traveling all over the world, and every country I went to, every team, TV, and no matter what language it was in, Barack Obama, Barack Obama, Barack Obama. That Obama's a freaking political rock star, bro. They don't understand the stardom that this. Oh, yeah, thank you for that like. Whoever smashed that like. And if you're coming through and you haven't smashed that like already, go ahead and smash it. He talks well. That's like that's what Biden was recorded saying. Not a good thing though. He's, for a black guy, he's well spoken and clean, unusually clean. This was recorded Biden saying that before he was Obama's VP. I'm like, oh damn, done. But I feel more bad for Biden than anything. It seems like they just pushing him around and giving him, like, even the shit that's his fault is his fault, but the shit that's not his fault, which every president has to get blamed for. But I actually take up for him. If they try to blame him for shit that's not his fault, I try to take up for the bro. I try to take up for him. He's not my favorite guy, but and even the thing with Hunter, like Hunter's problems outside of anything that our dude actually is guilty of supporting shouldn't reflect on him. Goober, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. Yeah, he was a breath of fresh air, charismatic, articulate. Ladies found him attractive, and he had that certain swag about him. He had the voice. The Obama uncharacteristical Obama voice. Yeah, Obama was a panty dropper president. I gotta tell you that. Them ladies loved them some Obama, bro. Yeah, he was. He's got little pimp vibes in him. Brother Barack Obama. That's what I told people too, man. Like charismatic wise, and in certain ways he dealt with things and moved with things. I just dislike some of his policies for good reason. Some of his policies were straight trash and caused more problems than help. But you got that with every president, including Trump, Bush, big time. Well, I can't complain about Bush. Bush's policy gave me the retirement I have now, so I can't even knock it. Thank you, Daddy Bush, for your government money that's going towards my pension. Appreciate you, dog. Yeah, Bush was zaddy. He took care of us government employees, boy. When Obama Can you explain like which portion of Obama? Oh, the France shit. That's going to have to be a whole nother stream. I think the people over there just went through so much, and they're all protesting. And also, it doesn't help. A huge chunk of the protesters, they opened their borders and had no immigration controls. They just let a lot of people in, and a lot of those people are contributing to the problems they have. About Obama? Well, Obama's like pretty much the way Biden's running the border is how Obama did. But Obama slowly and gradually did this. So it took the migrants years to figure out that we weren't sending them back. So first few years of Obama, he was deporting just as many people as Bush. And then he slowly but surely ramped up his the cuffs he put on immigration. And then by the time the end of his presidency, the borders were pretty much as open as they were. But kind of shut them down is when they said, oh, no, the Cheetos here, we got to go home. There's people that self-deported. They said, fuck that. I had my friends, I had to talk them off the ledge. I had friends who were naturalized citizens, and they thought Trump was going to deport them when he got elected. I said, unless you're guilty of war crimes and committed like some sort of crazy stuff in your home country, you should be fine. Just chill out. He'll be out soon. He'll be out eventually, and there'll be another them in there to do what you want. She was born in East LA. In Easy LA, East LA. I know what you mean, big dog. Yeah, so and then also too, Obama let some of his people attack the enforcement side of the house by removing a 25% pay they were getting for Border Patrol and ICE internal police, which made it very difficult for managers to figure out how to pay their people. And it also slowed up additional enforcement. Obama shut down worksite enforcement, which means it made human trafficking worse. Yeah, it made human trafficking worse because now people were enslaving people and we weren't able to go in and look at them. Whenever they lax these border laws, human trafficking goes through the roof. Like we've lost track of, they said 83,000 kids and they're finding them in sex shops and in bad situations. So it doesn't do anything but get bad when you lax these laws. But yeah, these are a whole other podcast. On here, we're gonna try to keep most of the podcast. I mean, I might be able to do it here on my own, some political stuff, but when I got my brother and my boy Chase on these, we're probably gonna stick it to more light topics. We're not gonna really dabble into politics too heavy because it's something they don't want. And my brother actually definitely doesn't want anything to do with like vaccine shit, anything that's gonna piss off the LGBTQ plus folks. And is there 2 pluses or 3 pluses? I can't remember. Shaden Sharp. Shaden Sharp. I gotta check them out. Hold on. I'm gonna try to I gotta put that in my notes. Oh damn, I missed phone calls and everything, but I was streaming anyway, so we'll do some Shannon Sharp notes. Look into Shaden Sharp highlights. I'll just leave that here. But anyway, I'm gonna have to shut it down, folks. Man, thank you guys for hanging with me so much. I need to freaking come out here more often. All 5 of you individuals that are still here listening to me jaw jack, and the 2 of you motherfuckers that hit that like button already. Anyone coming to this after the fact, please make sure you're smashing that like button on your boy coming back anytime and chill with me. I still do stream on Twitch sometime. It should be in my profile on here. It's very rare. I think I might start streaming on here more. It's going to be between YouTube and or Twitch for some circumstances. But I will be doing some more streaming stuff, and we'll be doing some more review stuff. And please share it with your buddies. Share it with your buddies. Let them know. Your boy Jew is still here, bro. Yo, Chris, thanks for popping in. And Goober, thank you for hanging out as well. But you guys stay safe, stay positive. I'm going to have to put my intro. I got this person that made me a nice little intro. I need to put my intro up. But, oh, that's what's up. I got you on YouTube too. So hold up. Let's do. I think I got you on YouTube. Making sure I got you now. Oh, my internet is acting sluggish as fuck. Your page, I just went to your page, Chris. It's still loading. I'm gonna start doing some more YouTube shorts. I'll get to it. I already got it there. But anyway, you wonderful individual. Stay safe, stay positive, stay blessed. I will see you when I see you. God bless. If we don't fuck up, then we will still be wasting time. Oh.